twisted that up into a tree. I want to branch it a little bit. Don't worry about trying to get all the branches, just perfect right now. Like I want this one over there and twisting, and this is, won't, don't bother about doing that yet. Okay, you want it pretty much in, how you. Let me repeat. Start again. You pretty much want the branches and stuff right, thicknesses and stuff like that, and the notches, the V's and stuff in here where the branches come out, you want that pretty much where they're going to be. The stuff you put on there is going to be flexible anyways, because as you bend it or you move the trees around and stuff like that, they're going to get bent on you, right? So you want to be able to bend them back into a tree shape. Do I have any in here? No, of course not. Oh yeah, I got one over there. It's a little bit different. I'll show you that later. Anyways, you have to coat it now because, well, you could just paint it, but realistically you want some bark on it, hey? You could use a caulking and white glue and mix that together into a paste. And that would give you some flex, and the glue would give it some hardness. When I mean glue, I usually use this stuff, like it's different than normal white glue, okay? Anyways, what I'm going to use is this stuff by Woodland Scenics. Now, plaster will not stick to this stuff, okay? So if you're going to do in your tree and then you're going to put it into something and then you plan on pouring plaster up around it, might not work. You'll have to anchor this end or something, and maybe touch it up with this. You can paint on this, but it's expensive. Like up here, this is $20 some odd, for this little jug. Which, if you're doing a big terrain piece like a table or something, well, Jesus, that ain't going to go very far. Either you have to put it on really thin. I'm going to do something a little bit different because I hate missing, like if it's all white, because this stuff is white, eh? If you put it on there and you miss a spot, I hate, white showing through on my stuff. So I'm going to actually try mixing some paint in with this. For a brush. Let's use one of these. Cheap brush. So I'm going to take some of this. Enough to cover that. Damn, it's all over the place now. Okay, and basically, if you want to skip ahead, that's what you can do. You can paint it with this rubber ship. What's the point? I'm going to mix some black paint. Actually, it's usually black that I mix into everything for base coat. Black gives me my grayish dark color for if I'm doing a terrain piece like a castle piece. I use dark brown if I'm mixing it in for groundwork. So, anyways, now I've got a gray color instead of bright white. Because that way if you miss painting something later on, a gray showing through is a heck of a lot less noticeable than white showing through. Unfortunately, it's not really a camera friendly though. So, anyways. Now this stuff is really thick, really thick. This is like, well, it's really thick. And it goes on funky, eh? It dries pretty much in the shape that you put it on, so you have to, any bits where it starts sticking out weird, a gob of it, you have to clean off. The branches are kind of, well, they're flexy, right? So they're bouncing all over the place on you as you're trying to paint them half the time, eh? So I just lay it down right in the goop stuff, eh? and just coat it. I mean, that's what we're doing, right? We're coating it. So as long as you work it in on all the branches, you'll be set. Now this is why I say don't, spend so much time trying to get it perfect at the beginning, because you really need to do this. I suppose it all depends on how much time you got, So, and then, like I said, you gotta kind of clean off the excess gobs, because you want this stuff pretty much as end product, you know what I mean? Oh, you're way down there now, aren't you? 1 second. Okay. So, like I said, you pretty much want this end product, so any of these gobs that are on here, you're going to have to wipe off. That's probably about as best I can do for you with the vision. Nah, this stuff isn't like green stuff, so there is some shrinkage to it. But I do know these spiky bits that you leave on there, they'll still be there when it dries. But you can get a nice gnarly effect with this stuff too, by leaving gobs on bumps. Just make sure you got all the branches. See, like even putting it in the mixer and gooping it up like this, I missed lots. Good morning. Man. Urban hens, hey, we're trying to get chickens. That's what the Kamloops needs. He needs a bunch of chickens. Anyways. One's been slowly doing the tree ones. Yeah, I had that one. So, this is how it... Where's my zoomer? Here it is. Zing. We'll be able to get in close enough to see. Okay, so that's how that one's kind of come out. Kind of, gnarly. You know what I mean? It's got, lumps and bumps and stuff like that. They make pretty good oak trees, This isn't painted, of course, but doing it this way, you've got some pliability, so you can kind of move it around still, And then just paint them. I mean, like things like this here, I should have probably made that branch a little bit thicker in there, but guy's still good, you just put on some more of that flex paste stuff, like I said, I don't know if that sort of goop method would work unless you mixed the acrylic caulking in with some glue a little bit more so that it's, it's got some paste type to it. Anyways, this is good enough for a initial type tree, And then you just got to kind of paint it like a tree, pick whatever color those ones are going to be, try to get it semi-close. Okay, so that's the one tree.